you find at CarolJo's.com, which is an online jewelry and accessory business. I'm going to move YouTube over closer to TikTok. There we go. And I'm going to move, sorry, TikTok, you're getting a finger in the camera. I'm going to move you guys down just a little. I think I like that better. Okay. You have to let me know if I'm in the comments there on TikTok. I am going to bring up my backup account. And my backup account is for TikTok only, so I can see the comments better. So here we go. But we do lots of things here on social medias. I am live today, like I said, both on YouTube and TikTok. I do those when I do chat times, which is when you guys get to ask me any type of question you would like. Hi, Joya. You can also, we do tutorials, which is what we're going to be doing today, right now. And we are going to be making what I called the stacked spiral bracelet. Look at Joya. I did do red, white, and blue like we talked about. That was my plan. And so we've got this style of a bracelet. Good morning, sweetheart strings. We also on TikTok only is where I sell beads live. And that is going to be tonight. We're going to do a bead sale tonight. And tomorrow we're going to do a charm sale. Tonight is 7 p.m. Central and tomorrow is 10 a.m. Central. But I only do those on TikTok. I can only do that on one social media with the way I run my lives. So we do them over there. I know. I think it's amazing. So what this bracelet is all about, it is about using memory wire. I gotta bring up my live to make sure I'm not in the comments because I was in the comments last night. All right, I think I'm good. Okay, so as you can tell, this is memory wire. It's like a slinky. And what you do is you can do any number of lengths of coil or number of coils that you want. I'm doing 5 with this one, and the one that I'm going to demonstrate today, I am also going to do 5 of. So you just need to, if I flip this around to the back side of it, you need to make sure that your coils all go around completely one time. And if you notice, I do overlap a bead or so when I'm doing that. But that is how you make sure that when you're at the top, because this is how you're going to wear it, is the top side here, that each one just looks like it is a full coil. That is easy. It's really easy on how to do that. I'm using memory wire. This one I'm going to use today. I just got to make sure it's my round. Yep, it is a round. Now I'm going to look at it again, double check. Yeah, it is my round. Sorry, I'm double checking. It is the round bracelet coil, and it is a 2 1/4 inch diameter here for it, and that's what I'm going to be using. I would say try it and see. I haven't had a slinky in a long time to know how thick the slinky is. And I'm going to show you on a larger piece. Memory wire is like a slinky. So let me I'll grab this. This is my, this is flat memory wire. So it is, but see, it's like the slinky look when we were kids. But this one, whoops, there's just one there. This one, I can't do what I'm doing today because you see how big that memory wire is as a flat? I cannot get my bead holes through it. With this one, what I do is I just do one coil and I create my loops on each end, and I take a piece of wire, create the circle inside of this side, put a bead on that wire, and then create a circle on the other side and connect it to this one. So there is just one bead, and it stands apart and looks like this with a bead in between. I haven't done that one in a while, and I don't have any examples of that one. Sorry, but that's what I use that memory wire for. But this memory wire will be up for sale tonight on TikTok. You get 1/2 ounce, I think it is, which depending on the size of the memory wire is different. Anywhere from 20 to 40 coils for that, for $2.50. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight for part of our sale. But here today, right now, I need 5 coils. I always add on an extra coil because then when I go to cut it off, I know I have enough. I'd rather have too much coils in there, hi Candy, than not enough. So we have one, and how I count these is, I'm going to flip this around so you guys can see this. You see where my coil starts right there? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to cut off 6. And I want to go past my beginning of the coil number 1. So I want to go down about right here and cut it off. You use memory wire cutters or wire cutters when you are cutting memory wire. Do not use your flush cutters. You will ruin your flush cutters. Hello, Maverick. How are you today? So always use the right tool for cutting memory wire. And I will say that you will nick, and I have even, before I got my flush cutters, I actually broke my flush cut, or before I got my memory wire cutters, I broke a flush cutter in half trying to cut it because it is stainless steel. So it's really hard to cut with flush cutters. All right. So always use memory wire. I also use a bail nose or bail making pliers to create my loops. If you notice, I have a loop on this side on the end here, and I will have a loop here. Those loops keep your beads on. And that's how I end my bracelets. You can buy beads that you glue on to the end. I just never taken the time because I think it wouldn't work in my mind. And when we did another memory wire tutorial earlier this week, someone said they've tried 5 different adhesives and have yet to get them to stay on. So I just prefer to do the loops. So that's what you're going to need is 2 tools. These 2 tools, a wire cutter and a bail making plier. You will need memory wire, and I cut off 6 loops or 6 coils of it. And then you're going to need the beads. You can do whatever you want for beads to make the bracelet. As you see here, I just took some red, white, and blue beads and made this one. We're heading into Memorial Day weekend, and I thought it would be cool. You can wear this one for the 4th of July, but also for the seasons right now. This blue and red are extremely one of the trending colors for the summer. So we just decided I'm going to make one, and you can wear it all summer long. The other type, this one is the smallest one that I've seen. This is a 2 millimeter size. And that's what you're seeing here is a 2 millimeter. And in all honesty, by putting it on top, I have not gotten poked by it. Just my 2 cents on it. All right. The beads that I'm choosing for the one that we're going to make today, I was thinking we're going to do boho-ish colors. So I, will go and Google what are the color trends for boho for the summer. And these 3 colors were part of that. Let me see if I can get them in screen on both sides. There we go. We have a yellow, we have a green with a blue center, and then we have a peachy pink. So those are our boho colors. Now, I said I have 5 links, but I only have 3 colors of beads. We're going to, in between each color, put some silver spacer beads that are 4 millimeters. Also, if you noticed, the size of beads that I chose for this one and for these are all smaller. This works better with 4 and 6 millimeters. Yes, light tan is boho as well, Joya. So Joya's over here on TikTok asking if is the light tan in the boho as well. And yes, it is. This summer it is. So if you notice, I only am using 4, and then these are all 4 right here. These 3, this is a 6 by 4 millimeter, and this is a 6 by 4 millimeter also. You're welcome. So we're using the smaller size beads when we're doing this one. I am going to point you all down to show you how to make the bracelet, okay? So those of you, hi Leo, that are on YouTube, I do not see comments as easily when I'm pointing down. So don't think that I'm ignoring you. I will answer your questions when we come back up. TikTok, as long as I remember, hi Joe, to look at this, The backup, I will be able to see comments. If I'm not looking there, I'll answer and we'll get back. We are going to be making, Leo, this bracelet here. It is called the Stacked Spiral Bracelet. So that is what I see your comment there. If you've had others before that, I didn't see them, Callie girl. Sorry. All right, here we go. There is YouTube. Whoa, hold on. YouTube, you are falling out of my phone holder. And it might be because, hold on. I'm going to do something with you on YouTube really quick. Sorry, everybody. My granddaughter put a different phone case on, and when I point you guys down, the phone case comes out. So sorry. Oh, thank you, Leo. Let me get you back in there, and I'll put you down again. All right. Whoops. I don't know what happened there. Okay. There we go. I hit a button and I didn't mean to. There we go. Now we're not going to have you falling flat on the table. And here you all are on TikTok. Okay, can everybody see? I'm just going to spill out our beads. We have the yellow, which is a golden yellow. Okay, good. And then we're going to do the green. Ooh, I hope that one fits in there. And then the peachy pink. So there's our three colors. And then I'm also going to pour out some of the silver spacers. Can't see the silver spacers probably as easy, but I'll bring those down when I go to use them. All right. The first thing that we need to do with this is find our end. I have these mats for sale. I can't tell you the price off of the top of my head, Robin, but I can let you know. I can email you after the live. All right, right here is our end. We're going to take the smallest of the circles on our bail plier here. I give them away when we do 10 shares and 10,000 likes. I will sometimes do jewelry, and I will sometimes do dollars off of orders. You just take with your thumb in your left hand and move this around with your right hand, and you will create your circle. It needs to be on the top part, and it needs to be up. Sometimes when I go to do that, I get them going a little sideways. I just need to get them in between two here, or get my flat nose pliers, which I should have. I'm going to grab my flat nose to help me bend that. They're right over here. I moved my tools the other day, and they're not close to where I'm at here. And you just take and bring that up. And memory wire does take. Hi, Melissa. So there we go. We have got our circle. Now we're just going to hold on. There we go. We got our other end. We're going to grab these golden colored rondelles. These are a 6. You know, I'm looking at the size of these. Yeah, we'll do it there. We'll do this. This is a 6x4 rondelle in that golden color. I wanted the color, and I thought they were smaller, but they'll work. And you just keep putting these on. What are you asking there, Leo? I did not count how many beads when I made my original one it takes to go around. So I just put on a few like a good a good amount, I should say. And then I push all the beads down and see how many more I might need. If you will tell me colors, I'm going to be doing another video on YouTube. If you can put the colors in the chat, I'll write them down before I get done. And then we'll see if I can use those colors on that video. Okay, Leo? Because today I'm probably only going to have time to do one. What shade of green? All right. So far, when I push this down, I am still missing about a third. So I still need to put some more on there. And just like if you were a kid and had a slinky, you have to make sure that you don't get your coils all in a mess over each other. If you do, you just got to take the patience and time to get it out. Green, red, and blue. I'll have to write that down when I can, okay? So for those of you that have been on my lives a few times, you know that I said I want to try to do more of the videos and not just the lives on YouTube. And last night I did get a different type of phone stand for me to be able to use on YouTube. All right. So where we are right on top of each other, but not over each other. Do you see how we have just a little bit of a gap here? I'm going to add 2 more of the yellow. I want it to be over and not like a little bit of a gap. The reason being is sometimes depending on the weight of the beads that you put on, it can change the shape of your wire to be a little bit bigger. And if that happens, if you would have a wire that you didn't have enough of that bead on, it will then not have enough to make a complete loop. Remember how I said sometimes you have to be careful with this? This one is deciding he should over everybody. So I have to take those 2 off and get this all fixed up. So give me a second here to get my memory wire going the right way. There we go. He just got looped a little bit. There, and I'll put those 2 back on. And then we are making what I'm calling a stacked spiral bracelet, Danielle. I'll show you what the example looks like after I get this one on, okay? There we go. Do you see how now they are overlapping by a bead? And that's what I want. So I'm going to get this bead out of my way and off the mat. It is this style of a bracelet, Danielle, that we're going to make. Now, I'm going to bring down some of my silver. These are just a silver 4mm spacer bead. This one is not the stainless steel one. You can tell that by the color. And once again, this thing just doesn't want to stay. There we go. Haha, got it now. Thank you, Patty, for all the TGIFs. There we go. Now we're going to make a loop of the silver. Oops, that's a 3mm. I don't want that 3mm. And if you wanted to do 3mm, you sure can do it on this. I'm just choosing 4mm to do this. I was going to say, thank you for the heart me's there, Patty. You just have to have patience in doing jewelry sometimes. Thank you for the puffed heart, Patty. Now, that's what I say. Sometimes jewelry making just takes patience. And that's one thing my one of my grandmas taught me when I would make crafts with them. If you got flustered with something, it's going to make a bigger mess and be harder to get undone what you're trying to do. If you're in if you are in a mind frame where you just don't have the patience, you just need to put it down and come back to it later. That is what she told me. Joya says hers has left the building because she is so old. My grandma is one that you could look to understand because she was one that had a lot of patience for her grandkids. I don't know why I have so many 3mm in this container, but I do. Now we're going to go around and see if we have a full one yet. We have 5 shares and we have only 500 likes. If we can get to our 10 and 10K, then we will do a giveaway. We are very close. We're probably about 6 or so away from overlapping because there's the start and there's where we're at. So we need to add a few more of those silver spacers. Not a lot, but a few. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what were the chances that you're actually going to grab the amount that you were thinking of putting on? That normally does not happen for me. But I'm not buying lottery tickets because they're too darn expensive now. All right. So on our back side, when we push this together, you will see that they're not quite there. I'm just going to add 2, and that'll get us there. So we should have done 8. All right. So there is the last of our silver for that one. Now I'm going to see about this green bead. I'm hoping that the hole on this green bead, it is a Melifory glass bead. Ho, that one fit. Sometimes some of the beads holes are too small to go on memory wire, and it makes it difficult. And the pattern with this Melifory is a little bit difficult to see where the hole is in the glass. So I might be struggling on this one. I won't be doing it as fast as the other ones. But I'm going to show you up close here what the pattern of this bead is. I thought it was just really cool and bohemian-like. There you go. I think it's just really cool. What cutters are you, Callie girl? The flush cutters or the memory wire cutters? I know, they are cool. Memory wire cutters. I have not purchased any for resale of the memory wire cutters. If you guys want me to, I can try to see and source those out. I just have never sourced them in all honesty. I got mine almost 20 years ago. So I have no clue how much they are. That's about not quite a half. We got to keep going here. I was going to say, I just got mine at Michael's almost 20 years ago. when you used to be able to have the 50% or 40% off coupons, you know, back in the day when we always could get them. Okay. Thank you, Joya. Because I had no idea. Because the Zon wasn't around back then. And I literally have had mine. This month, has been 20 years of making jewelry for me. I did not get them right away. I killed my flush cutters. Well, I really shouldn't say those words on the social medias, but I broke them. That's the word I just should say. I broke them. All right, I'm going to spin this one around and see where we're at on the green. All right. Hey, for just guessing, I'm pretty darn close. I'm going to need 3 more of those. Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3. Let's get this one around. See where we're at. And then we're going to do the silver again. Oh, perfect. Do you see how we're overlapping by 1? That's exactly what I want. So I'm going to put away the rest of these. Then we're going to grab the silver again, and we're going to do a row of silver. So far, I'm going to see if I get these to stay. Getting them to stay is not always the easiest, so you might see some little spaces, but that is so far what our bracelet looks like. If that isn't a boho bracelet, I don't know. And that's the look I'm going for right now, is for a boho spiral or a boho stacked look. Oh no. Okay. Yes, it will be available on YouTube for you guys to be able to rewatch this one. Yeah, it is kind of the beachy vibe. Not all the colors are beachy this year for the boho look, but it does give you that boho vibe when you think beach. You just think calm. That's what I think of with it. And so I wanted to bring out different colors in this stacked spiral examples about how you can make it look completely different just based upon the beads that you select. You can have it go with a really like work outfit. You know, if you have a business attire work environment. And you can also then change out the beads, and you can go with a Saturday beach theme type. Oh, I was going to teach you guys, and I forgot to grab the charms, how to add a charm to these. I said I was going to do that, and I forgot to grab a charm. So I'll have to do that before we end. So one thing that you can do, we would be in the green one would have been the perfect place because that's my middle. If halfway through the green, you could have added a charm on a jump ring or a split ring. Good morning, beads. And by adding it in the middle, that'll show it at the top. I don't normally put my charms that I add in the middle because I might not get it in the exact middle. And that would, if it's off a little bit, I am so symmetrical that that would throw me off personally. And and if you wanted to, you can add them to the loops on the end, but then that puts it at the bottom. of your bracelet. So it's going to be down here. So when if you're holding your hand, you're going to see it. If you add it to the middle, you'll see it up here. But down here, if you add it to the end, that's what you'll see it. So that's why I don't always add charms to my spiral bracelets, the memory wire bracelets, is because of where they will be at. All right, I am going to wind this second one around. I did not count the beads the first time I did that, and I am 2 beads short. Holy buckets, that was a really good guess on just putting those on there. Ah, there you go. Okay, I'm going to show you on our second spacer bead, the back side of it, how they are right over each other, 1 bead. And I'm going to show you this side where you're going to see that stack. Look at that stack coming together. I'm going to get these silver out of the way, and we're going to do this last one. It is a pink, but it's not like baby pink. It is really, truly like what I would say is like a peachy pink or maybe a blushy pink. And this one, once again, is another rondelle that is 6 by 4 millimeters. You can use the 6 by 5 millimeter rondelles also. I would not use 8 millimeter rondelles because it's just getting too big. And when you're trying to stack them, it's going to create a space in between each one of them that you don't want. You're not going to get that stacked look. Also, while I'm stringing here, those of you that have invoices, I normally do my invoices where I send out everybody's invoice that's outstanding for the week on Sundays. I am trying to move away from doing them on Sundays and moving it to like Fridays. Reason being is that I would love to have Sundays off. So today I do have time this afternoon that it is my goal that I will invoice everybody, whether you have anything from yesterday's lives or not, today, and get those out. I am almost ready to start sending the invoices. I just have a couple more things to do on getting invoices ready from the 2 sales yesterday. Once I'm done with that, I'll start sending those out. Hi, Geraldine. I don't have either one of those charms right now. So I'm like trying to figure out in my mind what kind of charm I can put on it really quick. But yes, that would be cool. All right, once you get closer to the end, you don't have to push them down as far. You can see where the end is going to be at. So on the back side here, whoop, I don't want you to flip around there. There, let's go this way. Do you see how I am 1 bead over once again? So my rows do not add up 100%, but that is okay. And those got intermixed there. We'll have to fix those later. But let me fix it right now so that we make sure. This is memory wire at its finest today. There we go. Nope. There. Why are you being stubborn? I want you here. There we go. Whew, that was memory wire at its finest. Now that I did that, are we still good? Yep, we are still good. You really can't see that last one there, but yes, that's the back side. This is the front side, the top side that you're going to see. So that is what we created. Now we need to finish this off. I'm going to pick up these pink beads and take them off the bead mat. Okay, so one of the things that I talked about when we were doing this the other day is that I always just would go do this and cut, and I never ever explained it. So this week I took time to measure. I always set my thumb down and took like the bed of my fingernail and lined it up with the last bead, and I would cut right above the tip of my fingernail. And that's how I do this. I just cut. And that's how I know I'm going to have enough to make my loop. But I thought, you know what? My fingernail length and your fingernail length are different. So I measured it. It is about 10 millimeters or 1 centimeter is about what we have here. We're going to take our bail making pliers again, put our piece of wire there, and use this to wrap this around again. And I do it at the bottom where that is a little bit higher, and just keep rolling. I have a couple of rolls on that one, but you can't really tell it if you don't, unless you really examine it. But once again, he's a little sideways, so we are going to flip him up. And memory wire takes, there we go. Don't want the whole piece to go, there we go. And there you are. So you have the 2 circles. And then we have our bracelet. So this is what you see on the top. Now we talked about adding charms. So let me grab some charms and look for a charm here that we want to add. Oh, okay. This is one option. Don't see any other ones in there that I would want as an option with this one. Oh, I gotta lift this up, and this is heavy. This is my container now of charms, everybody, that we will be doing our sales on for this week. That's the state. Oh, I gotta look and see if Texas is in there. I gotta keep that out. That's our craft. That's religious. This is one that we're going to resell because somebody's unpaid basket. Here we have some nautical. We could do a starfish. And I also have a fish. So that's a couple of options. And I don't think I have any more palm trees. And I've never had the margarita glass. I've had drink glasses, but I've never had the margarita one. All right, I'll show you up close which one, and then we can vote on A or B, okay? Oh, that was heavy. I don't know. Hi, New Miles. Here is option A. So put in the chat A if you want that one. Or you can put in the chat option B for the fish. A or B? While you guys are putting your things in there, I'm grabbing a split ring that is over here. All right, everybody wants A. Okay, we'll do an A. Get a split ring. Whoop. Yep, that goes there. This will go in here, and we are all good there. I'm trying to make sure I'm picking up as I go. I need my split ring tool now, which is with my tools over here. So let me grab, I'm just going to grab the tool container. Yes, it is just a, this is how I keep my tools. No. Those are cutters. Cutters. Where are my split ring pliers? There they are. Here they are. Okay, so what split ring pliers are, is there a plier that has a little dangle down here? You open up your split ring like so, and then you can put the charm on there. I got to go back just a little bit more. And then, whoop, I did not get it going right. With a charm, if they have a thicker here where that hole is at on the charm, sometimes it is a little bit harder to get them on a split ring. And then we can just do them on a jump ring. But on a bracelet, I prefer split rings over jump rings. Well, stay, please. Nope, he's gonna be. I am trying to get some more of these split rings in, and they are in back order. Got it. And as soon as I get more in, I can let you know. Now, we're going to open up our split ring, grab one of our circles here, and put that split ring on there. There we go. And we have our little charm added on. And you can literally, if you want to put that split ring right here in the center, or you can put it on one of the ends. I just always think in the center of the row. Once you put it in the center of whatever row you want it on, then it just dangles down. I was gonna say, yes, you can do the rainbows. You would just need 6 rings at least, or 6 coils, because you've got the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo for the 6 colors. And then if you wanted to add a charm in anywhere, and you can. So that is, I'm going to bring this up so we can all see comments now. Oh, I didn't even see Geraldine. Hello over there. I think you're over here now. Here we go. Here is our bracelet. Like if you were to wear this, this is what you're going to see when you're looking down on it. Let me take off my bracelet and I will show you. There you go. So that's what you see. And then here is where your charm is at. So like I said, people will see the charm when you have it here. I don't like it with it this way. This is not my personal preference, because here is where we have everything one off and it's not lined up straight. So that is it. See, and look at that. Who would have thought that these colors, would you have ever thought to pick those together? Oh, that's okay, Geraldine. It was funny because I can't always see the comments. But like, that gives you that stacked look that is so popular right now. Yes, it takes a little bit longer, but you're actually the equivalent of 5 bracelets here. So that is why I love this. And then you just take it off like that, and then you have your bracelet. Yes, I will be selling the wire tonight, and I have different color beads. I do have, this is what I'm going to say about the beads. I do have the rainbow of colors, but I don't know if you would like the rainbow of colors together, because the blue is like a darker blue with a plating on it, and the red is a transparent red, and the orange is like an opaque orange. So they're different. You can put them together and that could be fine, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know how to do that on lives on YouTube either. So Teresa, you're not the only one. But that is how you make the stack spiral. I should move that so you guys can see that. And I think it's really cool. I mean, and when you look at these, you can dress them up however you want. You don't even have to use faceted beads if you didn't want to. Because if you look at that Mellifore, it isn't faceted, so you could make it so it isn't as blingy. So it will be 5 p.m. your time, Rainbow. Oh, it is recorded, Cherie. We'll have it out after I get off. I will upload it, and it takes a few minutes, sometimes an hour. But I was going to tell you all, as part of my overall plan for YouTube and everything, is we are going to be slowly taking some of the tutorials that we have here and making them into a video rather than a live, saved live. So last night, you guys are going to laugh. Joya noticed when we made this bracelet the other night on the live that I had one extra of the spacer beads in one of the patterns. So last night I used this bracelet to create a tutorial video out on YouTube. Yep, it is. See you later, Rainbow. So I am starting to do those too. So you don't have to watch the entire live, but I don't know the time frames of it because it takes a little bit. I did not edit that one. I just took a thumbnail print, which was a picture of this, and put that in front of the video and uploaded it. But I want to do more and learn more about editing before we do that. So sometimes it may not be right away that you're going to see a shorter, so you don't have to go through and do the whole entire live. You can just spend 15 minutes instead of an hour. But I want to let y'all know we're working on that. As I said in yesterday's Thankful Thursday post, we are working on ways to be more efficient and getting things easier for everyone involved. So that is the next step of the evolution of where we're going. And I'm still trying to figure out, because everything I talk about for VIP groups, they think for Facebook, it should be my group and not my page. And I don't know if I agree with that. So I'm trying to figure that out still. So I told you I am. So we're trying to and what I want with the VIP on Facebook, and I know some of you don't do Facebook, is that it will be a place for you to upload pictures of your completed work. Because some of you want to show it off, and we have all different social media. So I'm trying to figure out one social media that we can do that and upload them. So we're working on things slowly but surely. And if you guys have ideas, and I don't know why my hair looks like it's sticking up there. It's really not. But if you guys have ideas of how we can make and improve what you see here at CarolJo's, please let me know, and we will work on doing some improvements. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial on the stacked spiral bracelet. We have two different ones here. Kind of looks like it's all one there. Hey, maybe you could stack two of them and get a big one. Oh, good. I'm glad, Joya. I will be back on TikTok only at 7 p.m. Central Time. So that would be 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. And we will be doing our weekly Friday night bead sale. I have a total, after I added in the glass pearls, we have 40 items tonight. And they're all new items. So come on in, except for the memory wire I've had before, but I got it back in stock. So, but we have 40 items to sell tonight. So hopefully we'll be able to see you then. Also tomorrow at 10 a.m., we will be doing the charm sale where all the charms that are like this are 35 cents a piece. And we have a lot of different charms that we're going to go through. So we will see you all either 7 o'clock tonight or 10 o'clock tomorrow. I hope you have a great afternoon. Bye, everybody.